May 31st, 1958 marked a momentous occasion as the Carney brothers prepared to open the very first Pizza Hut location. However, their journey was not without its challenges. These two brothers, Dan and Frank Carney, found themselves in a bad financial situation and had to borrow money from their mother to pursue their entrepreneurial dream. They saw this as their one opportunity to escape their debts and achieve success. There was just one small obstacle standing in their way. Neither of them had ever made a pizza before. The Carney brothers came from a family that owned a grocery store, but they had no intention of continuing the family business. Instead, Dan was on the lookout for a business venture with immense potential, while Frank needed a way to finance his education. It was during this time that they stumbled upon a growing trend from the East Coast: pizza. Although relatively unknown to most Americans, pizza had gained popularity within Italian communities. A family friend informed Dan about the rising popularity of pizza and its potential to dominate the American food scene. While Dan had tried pizza a few times before, Frank had only experienced it once. Recognizing the opportunity to capitalize on this emerging trend, the brothers realized they could make a significant profit by getting involved early on. The only obstacle they faced was their lack of funds. To overcome their financial constraints, Dan and Frank borrowed $600 from their mother to kickstart their pizza business. They purchased secondhand equipment and converted a small, hut-shaped bar located beside their family's market into their pizza restaurant. The brothers received a free sign from the Coca-Cola Company, but it could only accommodate 8 letters, with 5 of them reserved for pizza. Inspired by the unique shape of the building, they eventually settled on the name Pizza Hut. However, a major setback struck less than a month before their grand opening. Neither of them knew how to make pizza. Determined not to let their dream slip away, they invited a friend who was skilled in pizza making to teach them just in the nick of time. With only 2 weeks until the planned opening, the Carney brothers prepared their starting menu, offering cheese, sausage, and pepperoni pizzas. The prices were set at 95 cents for a small pizza and $1.50 for a large one. Everything seemed in place for the grand opening. But disaster struck when they turned on the used oven they had purchased from an Italian restaurant. To their dismay, the oven caught fire, filling the restaurant with smoke and ashes. It turned out that a bird's nest had been lodged inside one of the vents. Forced to delay the opening, Dan and Frank quickly repainted the walls and resolved the issue. Finally, Pizza Hut opened its doors the following night. After 6 months of successful operation, the Carney brothers opened a second Pizza Hut location, and the company's growth continued. Within a year, 6 Pizza Hut restaurants had sprung up. However, the brothers had even greater ambitions in mind. They wanted to expand beyond their local area, and to achieve this, they opened their first franchised location in Topeka, Kansas. By 1966, Pizza Hut boasted 145 locations across America, and in 1969, they achieved an international milestone with the opening of the first Pizza Hut in Canada. However, the rapid expansion also brought new challenges. Competitors began eyeing Pizza Hut, and the brothers realized they needed to find a way to stand out from the crowd to safeguard their success. To make Pizza Hut instantly recognizable, the Carney brothers sought the help of an architect friend. However, the cost of his designs exceeded their budget. In a compromise, they proposed paying the architect $100 for each restaurant built using his design. The result was the iconic Pizza Hut red roof, which would go on to become the company's logo. In that same year, Pizza Hut expanded its presence to Mexico, Germany, and Australia, celebrating the opening of its 500th restaurant. In 1977, Pepsi acquired Pizza Hut for a staggering $300 million. By then, the chain had generated sales of $436 million and operated over 3,400 locations. The Carney brothers remained unaware of the challenges they would soon face. Pizza Hut's sales were faltering on the East Coast, and they needed to find a solution. It was Frank who stepped up and created the recipe for the original pan pizza, which would become Pizza Hut's signature item. This new recipe produced a pizza with a crispy exterior and a soft, flavorful interior. Despite its growth, Pizza Hut faced stiff competition from other emerging pizza chains. Little Caesars attracted customers with its enticing deals, Domino's gained fame for its speedy service, and Papa John's steadily grew in popularity. In response, Pizza Hut brought in a new head of marketing to help them maintain their leadership position. They began introducing a new menu item every 6 to 8 weeks, many of which would later become industry staples. One of Pizza Hut's most significant breakthroughs came from paying attention to customer surveys. They noticed that many people discarded the crust while eating pizza. Inspired by this insight, they introduced a crust stuffed with cheese. The response was overwhelming, with the trial period selling out in just 4 weeks. Within a year, the stuffed crust pizza alone generated over $300 million in sales. Pizza Hut's growth and success continued over the next decade, expanding its presence to 12,000 locations in 86 countries. During this period, the company continued to introduce new menu items, pushing boundaries with creations like hot dog stuffed pizza, as well as unconventional combinations such as Marmite stuffed crust and flying fish roe salmon cream cheese crust. The story of Pizza Hut highlights the remarkable journey of two brothers who, despite their financial limitations and lack of experience in pizza making, founded a pizzeria that would become the largest pizza chain worldwide.